Andrew Tate, what's happening?
I'm not even sure if we're allowed to even say his name.
Oh man, gonna get the show shadow banned before we even start. Okay. What is the latest with Tate?
So obviously, like, he got arrested a couple of weeks ago, and it was the whole thing with Greta Thunberg and the pizza box and all that, which I think ended up not being true.
What do you mean?
Meaning that
It's a real tweet.
No, but I don't think like they found the Romanian authorities found out that he was in Romania.
Oh, because of the pizza box.
Yeah.
So hold up. Off the back of that, they were looking for him.
Yeah, I believe they were, and they probably were doing some sort of investigation. So I've heard, it's the human trafficking, but I've heard it's more money laundering, actually.
Money laundering.
Yeah. I heard that is
evading tax evasion.
Yeah, that's the one they're trying to get him for.
Yeah.
I don't think they have much on him on human trafficking. So yeah, it's he just got his request denied.
So he's in jail now, right?
Yeah, he's in jail. He requested to leave early, and I think he got his request denied. He's supposed to be out by it's a 30-day detention, which is a bit weird as well.
Yep.
So I don't know if they've charged him fully with something.
Yep.
But right now it's just allegations. So
allegations.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we get into that, which we more or less have covered it, he's in jail now. Like all the proceedings are happening.
Yeah.
Who is Andrew Tate? Like, where's his influence sphere come from? And is he only a guy that's this influential on the internet?
Yeah. Basically, so he's been on reality TV shows before, ages ago.
Guys. Well, like not The Bachelor, like Love Island or some nonsense.
Yeah, Love Island, Survivor or something like that. I think he was on. He was on Big Brother as well. That's sort of
sure.
He nearly got into a fight with someone in Big Brother. He's a kickboxer as well.
Yep.
So
that I've seen, yep.
And yeah, he's just sort of been like a B-list sort of thing for a while, and then I think he figured out how to work the internet. Basically,
you're right.
All the algorithms, all that. He basically created. It's called Hustlers University. It's not. I think it's running anymore.
It's a scam, is it? It's a pyramid. Come on.
I'm not saying that.
How do you not? Have you subscribed to Hustlers University?
I haven't subscribed. I'm not wasting my money. But
hustle, boy.
But he created that, and it's I give respect where it's due, right, in terms of like marketing.
Yeah.
Because he was everywhere, all over TikTok. When he wasn't really he didn't really have an account, I think, at that point, but he had this scheme where Hustlers University, members of Hustlers University would basically create content for it, right?
Yeah.
And it's the stuff that he talks about in that Discord.
Yeah, but isn't it the... Okay, let's just go
but
get straight into it.
That's how he cheated. Not cheated, but like he worked the algorithm.
Yeah.
So he basically became one of the most famous people on the planet.
But by talking nonsense, right?
Well, he's...
So
talking to an audience.
What is Andrew
talking to an audience?
Yeah, so his audience is young men.
Yeah. I mean, look, I've always said in any sort of political environment, this is where we might get in trouble. Well, any political environment, where there's an action, there's a reaction, right?
Yep.
A lot of, the current political environment is that there's a lot of woke sort of terminology sort of going on.
Yep.
And not that it's all bad or anything. It's just like that's what it is at the moment.
Yeah.
And to that, you'll have a reaction. And then just like there was before with in the early 2000s where there was a lot of right-wing terminologies and ideologies sort of dominating, and then there was a reaction to that.
Yeah.
It sort of goes up and down. I think this is the reaction to it, and there's an audience that is reacting to this.
Yeah.
That is sort of, attaching themselves to this. And he's become famous. He's become one of the most famous people on the planet. They're trying to get him for fights with Logan Paul. And...
Okay, do we agree that he goes out of his way to push his agenda and maybe to the extreme sort of view in terms of the words? He's been labeled a misogynist.
Yeah.
Like a lot of this, I'm not, trudging through the internet to watch every Andrew Tate YouTube. But if you go on Twitter now, like to do a little bit of research for this, there's so many extremes of opinion. You have younger men that idolize him. You have people that hate him, and it's divisive, right?
Yeah,
and he plays into it. Those sound bites can be taken out of context.
It can as well, right? So that's the other side of this.
But it's it's deliberately. He doesn't come across as a stupid person. It's like he's curated everything that he does is curated to maximize publicity. in the most extreme, either you love him or you hate him sort of vibe.
So I'll tell you what's going on right now.
Yeah.
So we're in a pretty interesting age of media.
Yeah.
Right? So I believe right now, like social media is very much tabloid it's tabloid speak. What the tabloids used to be in the early 2000s is what I believe a lot of social media is right now, right?
Yep.
Where there's a mountain of information. You don't know what's true. You don't know what's real. You don't know. But the most dramatic stuff is what gets a lot of the attention, right?
Sure.
He's worked it out that if I be this dramatic, I'm going to get a lot of attention.
Yeah.
I think he's a smart guy. I think he knows that there was a gap in like a niche that he could go after that
Sure.
would actually is a bit more than a niche, right? If you're looking at the reaction to how popular he became, I think it's a bit more than a niche. I think there's probably a lot of people that sort of messaging plays to. But yeah, I think he's worked out social media, and in a way, I think it's actually pissed off a lot of the big tech companies.
You think it's a tech company thing?
Yeah,
I mean, I know he got banned off. Was it YouTube?
He's got banned off everything,
right?
And then Elon Musk brought him back on Twitter.
Yep.
But I just think, I think he worked it out in a way.
Yep.
Where he became the most searched man on the planet. That was recent.
Yeah.
Google. He was one of the most searched men on the planet. So that's pretty big, right? To work out like an algorithm of social media to become one of the biggest men on the planet is crazy when you think about it.
So interesting opinion. I mean, just because you're right. We're in a very interesting time on the internet. Everyone has access.
Yeah.
To a mic, to a platform. Anyone can upload a clip to YouTube on their phone. It doesn't have to be with high sort of production. But does everyone's message need to be heard? And I guess this is where you have the free speech. It's free.
Yeah.
But at what point, if you go into a room and you have 5 people and they each have their own opinion, and person one, just by his disposition, wants to be heard, turns it loud, just because he wants to be heard, starts yelling things to the extreme. Do you think is it a character, or is it this what he really is? Or is it somewhere in the middle, which kind of usually is?
I think it's a character.
Yeah.
So I'm also thinking it is a character.
So he's a heel, really?
Yeah, he's a heel, basically, in wrestling speak. Yeah. He's a heel. But I think he's a smart dude. I mean, his father was a chess player.
Sure.
Right? And apparently a really master chess player as well. I think this is all chess moves in his sort of game that he's playing. He knows.
And what's the end game?
Yeah. The end game is get even more paid than
popularity and money. Right?
He's pretty rich as is.
Correct. So it almost seems like at a certain point,
it's not about money though.
I would say that too.
Maybe it's not about money. I think it's more about
fame, the power, the addiction to all of that, because he's getting it.
Yeah, he's getting it, and we're seeing the type of reaction in schools. In schools, they're banning talk of Andrew Tate.
So that's
and not even just to that extent. They're banning you can't speak his name, his Voldemort, and then it's going beyond that. They're trying to go a lot of the education.
Who's they? You keep saying they.
Yes,
institutions,
Department of Education, for example, right? I saw some clips in the UK where there was a female MP and she was like, we need to introduce curriculum that sort of combats this sort of, they fear that, Andrew Tate's going after the young young men and, disillusioning them and sort of changing their minds on
what is the Matrix? Some of the, okay, so honestly.
What do you mean, what is the Matrix?
It's Keanu Reeves, man.
It's Keanu, man. It's dodging bullets, isn't it?
Again, this...
Well, he's used this as a funny metaphor.
Just tell me, you did pay for Hustle's University.
No, I didn't, man.
You want that pill, don't you?
This is what I get. Why would I pay money to just
so you want to be like
access
Andrew
to a Discord? Sorry, I just don't see the point in it. Especially when his content is everywhere anyway, right? If I wanted to see his content,
well, no longer in the light.
Well, no, but that's the thing, right? He's uncancelable in a way. He got basically blocked off every social media platform, but I still saw his videos.
Of course. I mean, it's very,
because of the way he set up his
You're drawing a pyramid scheme. You're drawing a pyramid scheme, dude.
That was not. I didn't do that on purpose.
He's marketing manager or something.
No, but the way he set up his structure, right, of his Hustlers University, I don't think he'll ever.
And where can I go to get this?
I don't think he'll ever be cancelled. That's just the fact of it. I think because people always make new channels and they always make his content. They always sort of get money from that. Which it's just a scheme that I don't think will ever die out for him. He talks about, like, before he got arrested, he says 3 things are going to happen to him.
Yep.
Is that
yeah.
He's basically said that they're going to try cancel me.
Yep.
As the first thing.
Sure.
And then they're going to try put me in jail for something I didn't do.
Yep.
And then they're going to try kill me. And he's like, I will never ever kill myself. Just to let you guys know here. Yep. Like he said, I'll never kill myself. That's 100% take that to the grave if you want.
Yeah.
If I'm dead, I'm killed. That's what he said.
Okay. In the history of the internet, which is relatively young, can we say the internet's is relatively young? I don't know. Okay.
30 years?
Let's just
20, 30
let's just say
years?
it is. Okay, if it is, right? Has there been a figure like Andrew Tate?
Ooh, that's an interesting question. I'm not quite sure to that level. I mean, we've seen personalities.
So
right?
Yes, correct. So you say to that level. What's the level and what makes him different?
Well, to the level where he's been talked about in schools.
There's been a lot of personalities that have been blocked off social networks for talking outrageous amounts of beep.
Yeah.
But yeah, is it just that we're in?
But has anyone ever been like banned in, like, even talking about their name in school? That I don't think I've ever heard.
The only thing that I can think of,
the only thing I can think of that is similar would be Adolf Hitler. Really.
You don't bring Hitler in the podcast. I meant in this modern era, right? I'm talking about the social media.
In the internet, no. I don't think in the internet.
You don't think so?
There's not been anyone.
Kanye's been banned how many times?
But Kanye's not banned about talking about it in schools, right? Kanye is. You can still talk about it. Like, if you're in school and you're talking about Andrew Tate, caught talking about Andrew Tate, you can get suspended.
Who's talking about Andrew Tate?
These young men.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I can think of different, in that he has a very definable
audience.
Target audience.
Yeah.
And it's he's the poster boy for toxic masculinity, right?
Yeah, I mean,
well, in the media, he is, right?
The media hate him. I mean, they're trying, like, I like to keep a level-headed thinking about him, right? Like, the media hate him because he got famous without their help, right? He got famous on social. A lot of people, the media hates anyone that gets famous on social media.
Media doesn't.
The established media, at least.
Media doesn't hate Mr. Beast. But you can't say that, can you?
No, I still think that.
It's his agenda that, I mean, they hate him, but I saw like a comment in like an Andrew Tate video, like, but he's created so many jobs for journalists because, like, seriously, like, how can they hate him when every second you just put his name there and you'll get stuff like that? So it's a weird dichotomy of a relationship, and the media as a machine is a lot of different things. I believe that they're
to me like, what's scary about this and what's sort of like, look, I don't agree with a lot of stuff that Andrew Tate says. But
what do you agree with? You got Hustle University. Mate.
Well, no,
you're all about this Matrix, eh?
I don't agree with a lot of his. Like, I mean, he says some funny. Like, to me, he's funny in some instances, right? Like when he's like saying, "Oh, yeah, you should meal prep." I'm like, what the hell you mean? He's like making fun of people meal prepping.
Definitely shouldn't meal prep.
And I was like, it's just like some of that is kind of funny, and he has that song that's sort of his theme song and TikToks, I don't know, which is weird. He never even made.
I'm not in that rabbit hole.
Yeah, but like, it's just, to me, the scary part was how swiftly and quickly and how efficiently he got sort of cancelled in a way. The fact that anyone can get cancelled like that it should be a bit scary, right? Like, they not only just took him off social media, like, he couldn't use PayPal, Uber Eats, his bank, you know. That, I don't think I've heard that before, right? Like, that's where I'm like, this is like a new level of canceling someone when you're going after his money and you're going after his bank. You couldn't even use Uber Eats. Well,
it all goes under the whole aspect of free speech.
Yeah.
And do you believe? That line? Yeah, where's the line?
Where's that line?
And if, I mean, okay, let's take an extreme example. If there was a terrorist at Twitter, I don't know.
Well,
Whatever.
actually, no, this is a real example
Yeah.
of I think what you're going for,
Yeah.
right? Is that if a terrorist would tweet something and they'd
Exactly.
be okay, and then he's actually brought up this
So
example.
you would want the moderators of Twitter to cut it off, right?
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
like we're hopefully everyone agrees that that's
'Cause I think
fair example.
I think
right?
Andrew Tate brought up this example with the Taliban.
Sure, because
Right?
they
The
are
Taliban has Twitter,
Yeah.
and they're causing all these atrocities, yet he's banned off. He's bringing up like this sort of
Well, that's
interesting.
That's
an
the point. So
interesting
the point is who gets to be judge, jury, and adjudicator, and to what extent is it free speech? Free speech, right?
Elon now.
Stop it. But we agree, right?
Well,
like that is in essence.
That's where like a lot,
The argument,
Facebook, you know, they were these Senate inquiries as well, right?
Sure.
So like it's becoming a big deal.
Yep.
In terms of like where does the regulation come in?
Yeah.
Where like, you know, how do you regulate social media? I think that's the biggest question
Yeah.
that I don't think they've properly done right now. I mean, there's a lot of, I guess, like anti sort of cyberbullying laws that have come in, but yeah, it's not clear enough. I don't believe. I don't think so. Like it's
going to be evolving, right?
yeah, it's evolving. I mean, you're right. We are very young in terms of what it is, right? It's like 25 years, I would say.
Yep.
The internet is really sort of started and grown, and like it is where it is right now. But what the internet is in maybe even 5 years, we don't even know.
Yeah. So all this begs the real question that everyone wants to know. When is the next Andrew Tate podcast going to be in the Romanian jail? Like, when are we going to get it?
I don't know. We can.
I mean, are the acoustics good? Like, can we get him a Focusrite or something? Like, people want to hear, no? So what happens now? Like, he gets his time under the sun. Like,
I don't know. Like, okay, what he is saying is that, look, any sort of system is corrupt.
Yep.
And they can be paid off, and you know they can put him in jail for 30 years if they wanted to, right? It's that sort of corrupt sort of, you know, system.
In Romania, you mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
But I mean, I have a feeling he will get deported to America and have to answer, because that's where
I thought it's under Romanian jurisdiction, and
so apparently the human trafficking stuff. There's a lot of American girls that are part of this, right? So, I mean, would he have to get deported, or extradited, or something? No one knows. But the thing is that this has happened before to him, where he had to go to the police, and basically for the same charge or same allegation, and he said he just had to sign a couple of papers, and then he was just gone, back. And I'm like, I mean, that could happen, but this seems a bit different. The fact that he's in 30 days detention in jail on an allegation, right? I don't know if they formally have charged him.
Yeah.
That's the thing, and whether they have enough evidence to charge him.
Yeah.
That's the question, right? But I mean, yeah, it's just gonna be something that if he does come back, he'd be a very marked man from the social media perspective. I don't know if he'll. I don't know. Is he? He might be banned on Twitter now. You don't even.
I don't know. I mean, his stuff is all around.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
But like, what's going to happen to him? That's because he had all this stuff lined up, like possible boxing fights with Jake Paul and Logan Paul is the money one. I think that everyone sort of is thinking that should happen, but
yeah, I would think right now boxing fights is going to be far from his mind. But look, evolving story, I guess.
Yeah,
and TBC read the Andrew Tate saga.
Yeah.